This week on Real Life with Type 2 Diabetes. Just enjoying the fresh air. And then I had a Quest bar. We'll figure it out. It'll happen. Slowly but surely. It'll happen. I'm freezing. Do I even keep this on anymore if it's not accurate? Not worth it. Good morning. It's Monday morning, day 1 of week 2. So those of you who didn't watch last week, you can go ahead and watch it if you wish, or just to summarize, last week was more of a learning week with me and my Freestyle Libre sensor, continuous glucose monitor. So last week I was testing before and after I ate and 2 hours after I ate, and just learned a little bit about, how different foods might affect me, and also making decisions on what my numbers are. So if I know they're really high, I would probably choose to eat a lower carb food the rest of the day. And so today, I haven't checked my blood sugar yet. I've already had my morning coffee with some ghee, collagen, and some stevia in it. That was about an hour ago. So I'm going to check my glucose right now. And I'm at 9.2. It's still pretty high for the morning. So the rest of the day, I think I'm going to try and do a 0 carb day, which doesn't mean I don't eat. It just means that I eat foods that are pretty much 0 carbs. So that would only be mostly proteins and dairy for the day. So I wouldn't eat any vegetables today, or any other foods that are a little bit higher in carbs. And we'll go from there. So I'll check back in with you at lunch and see where my blood sugars are at. Okay, so it's just before lunch, and I haven't had anything to eat since my morning coffee. So I'm just going to check my blood sugars before I eat something. Remember, this morning my blood sugar was at 8.3, and so let's see what it's at now. 7.3. So it's down by 1 point, which is great. So I'm going to eat a very low carb lunch, and hopefully it doesn't increase my blood sugars very high, and it maintains it. It probably will spike a bit once I eat, but I'll check my blood sugars 2 hours after I eat to see if it went back down. So here's my sexy lunch. Just 2 hot dogs and 2 eggs. That's it. So my blood sugars were 7.3 before lunch. I just ate, so I'm just going to show you a measurement of what it looks like as soon as you eat. And it's still showing 7.3, which is pretty good, being that I just ate. And it's 2 hours after lunch, and I'm going to check my blood sugars. So again, I had 2 hot dogs and 2 eggs for lunch, and we'll see where my blood sugar is at. 8.1. So it was 7.2 before and right after I ate lunch, so it's only gone up about 1 point. So I'm okay with that. As I was saying last week, if it goes more than 1.5, that's something you should worry about. I would hope eventually my blood sugars go back down to what they were before I eat. 2 hours after, I hope the blood sugars go back down to what I was at before eating. But right now, I'm still in the reset mode. So, we'll get there. I know it takes time, and I have to keep reminding myself that it will, and we'll figure it out. It'll happen, slowly but surely. It'll happen. Okay, later. Good morning. This is day 2, Tuesday. of wheat too. And I woke up this morning really early, around 6:30 a.m. I normally wake up around 7 anyways. I checked my blood sugar and it was the lowest that I believe it's ever been in the mornings, which isn't that low, but it was 8.4 this morning. And after I checked it, I'm doing some different things. I did 20 jumping jacks and I ran on the spot for 1 minute. I did that after I checked my blood sugar before breakfast. And then after breakfast, I did the same thing, 20 jumping jacks. And I jogged on the spot for 1 minute. So I'm going to see if that helps lower it much more quickly than it normally does. So in 2 hours, I'll check my blood sugars again to see if it dropped compared to other days. One other thing I've noticed is that my blood sugars in the morning have been lowering consecutively over the past few days, which is good. It's a sign that my blood sugars are starting to drop, they're starting to reset, because on February 6th, it was 9.3 in the morning, first thing. The next day was 9.7. The following day after that, morning was 9.2. And then today was 8.4. So they're showing a progression of it going down every morning, which is a good thing. So I'll monitor that and see. Oh, I also had this morning a shot of apple cider vinegar in some water, in a cup of water, not just straight up, because I think that would be painful. But I did that as well. So we'll see if anything changes. I'm just experimenting with doing some different things, just to see if anything helps. So I'll keep an eye on it. It snowed last night, so I'm out to shovel snow, getting some exercise in. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna start fasting today or I might start tomorrow, but I'll let you know. Hey, it's me again. Just came in from shoveling the snow. Checking my blood sugar now. What time is it? It's 11:41, so it's almost lunchtime. And I'm gonna check to see what's happening. 8.3. So it is down from this morning, which is great. I don't think it's gone down after breakfast or my coffee by lunchtime below what it was first thing in the morning, which is good. So yesterday morning I was at 9.2. No, and then by lunch actually I was 7.3. So it did go down significantly yesterday. So today, all the jumping jacks, running on the spot, doesn't hurt, but it didn't help very much in terms of lowering my blood sugars. And neither did the apple cider vinegar, although I did hear that maybe you should have it at night before bed so that when you wake up in the morning, it may help your dawn phenomenon in the morning. A lot of people say don't worry about the dawn phenomenon in the morning. It's going to happen no matter what, which I understand. I just don't want it to be high in the morning and then stay high. I want to get to a point where it may be high in the morning, but it drops really quickly by mid-morning, within a couple hours. So I'll do some more experimenting and see what happens. You know, I may still do the jumping jacks. I had a good workout shoveling snow just now, and maybe my blood sugars are elevated because I was shoveling the snow and they're still elevated, but it may go down a lot more this afternoon. Good morning. It's day 3, Wednesday of week number 2. Just some updates from yesterday. After lunch yesterday, my blood sugars went up to about 8.1. And then I had a Quest bar, a chocolate peanut butter Quest bar, at around 3:30. My blood sugars were 8.1. And then by 4:15, I checked my blood sugars again, and it was down to 7.3. So it's safe to say that Quest bars, at least that one I had, the chocolate peanut butter, was safe to eat. It didn't spike my blood sugar. It didn't go up, as far as I can tell, and I ate the whole bar. So that's good to know. That's an option if you want, although I wouldn't eat too many of them. I've had, in the beginning, I had 2 in a row, only because I was on the road and I was hungry and I had nothing else to eat. And then the next day, I had some stomach issues. So I would keep it to just 1 if you ever have one. You may want to start with a half if it's your first time eating them. And then my blood sugars dropped around dinner time to 6.8. And that was the rest of the day. So yesterday I did try the apple cider vinegar in the morning. I did some jumping jacks. I jogged on the spot for a minute. None of that seemed to help in the morning. Last night before bed, I also tried to do some apple cider vinegar to see what would happen this morning. And this morning I woke up and my blood sugars were at 8.8. However, that was at 7:23, and it is now 9 a.m. So I'm going to check now. By the way, I also just had a coffee this morning with just a little bit of cream in it. Nothing else in my coffee. I'm going to be fasting until Friday. So today is Wednesday. I started fasting last night after dinner, so I'm gonna fast until dinner Friday evening. So that'll be a 72-hour fast, and so I'll check in once in a while to check my blood sugars to see how they are, and so I'm only gonna have, if I do have coffee again, it'll be black coffee with a little bit of cream, so it won't be black. I'll have water. I use pink Himalayan rock salts, and I put them under my tongue whenever I feel a little bit of hunger. And if I really get hungry or if I feel I need something, I might have a cup of bone broth as well. So I'm going to check my blood sugars now, and then I'll go from there. Is it gonna work today? Yeah. So 9.4 now, and this is after having my coffee. So I'll check it after lunchtime, even though I'm not eating, and around dinner time as well. It's not too cold today, so I figure I would take a little jaunt around the neighborhood. Just enjoying the fresh air. It's really nice. Hello, it's afternoon. It's almost 1 p.m. and I'm still fasting, of course, since I'm fasting till Friday and it's only Wednesday today. However, I have been having some salt. I have some ground pink Himalayan rock salts that, as I mentioned before, I take and put under my tongue. And that helps me anytime I have any hunger cravings, or if I'm just feeling like my blood sugar is low. I also have a big container of water. I drink about 3 of these per day. And since I haven't had anything to eat today, and I only had coffee, so I'm going to check my blood sugars now and see where we're at. .3. which isn't bad. This morning's last time I checked was 9.4 at 9 o'clock. So I'm down to 7.3, and I'll check again around dinner time, even though I'm not eating. I might have a cup of bone broth because I'm really cold today and it's cold outside, and when you're fasting, you definitely get a little colder because you're not eating anything and you don't have that energy to keep you warm. So I'll probably have a cup of bone broth and I will check in later. It's almost 6 p.m. and I'm still fasting. I did have a cup of bone broth around 4 p.m. and I'm probably just gonna shut down for the rest of the night and take it easy. So I'm just gonna check my blood sugar just to see where we're at. And nice. So right now I'm down to 6.1, which is great. Of course, I haven't eaten anything, so I'm hoping it's gonna stay like that or lower until I'm done fasting on Friday. So this is what I mean by reset. This is basically my blood sugars are gonna be at. We'll see where they are in the morning. Tomorrow morning, I'll do a check-in and check my blood sugars. I'm sure they'll be higher in the morning, but this is why I do fasting once in a while. And I try and do a 3-day fast once a month. Good morning. It is Thursday, day 4. I'm on hour 38, going on to hour 38 of fasting. So far I've only had coffee with a little bit of cream, and I've had some bone broth over the past day and a half. This morning I had my coffee. I did wake up this morning and my blood sugars were at 8.8 this morning. However, last night I started getting numbers in the 5s, so I was down to 5.3, 5.4 last night. Before I went to bed I was at 5.4, so that's good. I'm starting to see the numbers in the 5s again. So over time, as I do this fast, I'll see more numbers in the 5s. I'm hoping my blood sugars go down pretty quickly this morning. It's currently only 9:30 a.m. So I'll check before lunch to see if my blood sugars went down, and we'll go from there. I'm not going to eat the rest of the day. I'm still fasting until dinner tomorrow night. I still have my pink Himalayan salts with me. Whenever I feel hunger, I take some of this, put it under my tongue. I have my water. I did notice last night around 8 p.m. I did have a coffee, and my blood sugar stayed steady from 8 till I went to bed, so it was around 5.3, 5.4, and I was completely fasted by that time. So that's good. It's confirmation to me that coffee doesn't spike my blood sugars. It's 12 p.m. and still fasting, and I'm gonna check my blood sugars to see where they're at. This morning they were at 8.8, and I want to see now what they're at. So let's do a little tap here. 7.2, so it's coming down from 8.8, so that's good. I would hope my blood sugars would go even lower, but it's good to see that they're dropping after the morning. They're not dropping to where I want them to be, but they're dropping. I know by mid-afternoon to late afternoon I'll probably get down even further because I'm not eating. So again, by fasting, it's bringing my base level further down to where I want to be. So over time, we'll see that it continues to go down. Just an update on the sensor. It's still working. There hasn't been any issues with it. Because I have the adhesive tape on it, it's been fine. It is a little itchy, but that's probably expected. I do think, so this Sunday will be the last day I can wear it, as it's only a 2-week sensor. And then I'll put on the new one on Monday morning. I was reminded yesterday that I should be checking my blood sugars with a regular monitor, a finger prick one, just to see that the flash glucose monitor is still accurate. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do a little finger prick and test it out. I want to make sure that the readings are accurate. It may be different. It was just at 7.3. So let's see what this is going to say. 3, 2, 1. Huh. 6.4. So that's good to know. I think, well, this is taking directly from my blood. I guess the other one is too, since it's pinned into my arm. But I'd rather go with this number than the other number, just because it's lower. But which one is really accurate? I don't really know. I would say this is more accurate. However, the reason a lot of people use the flash glucose monitor is so that they don't have to pin themselves a few times a day. And it's continuous. You can check it whenever you want. It's more convenient to do it. But you know, maybe it is 6.4. Let me check again with the sensor. Yeah, it's still showing 7.2 now. So, you know, where is it? I'll do another test later this afternoon to see with the sensor and the meter as well. And yeah, we'll have to see. Anyways, I'll be back later to check out what my numbers are and compare between the sensor and the finger prick. Okay, I'm freezing. Still fasting, but I'm really, really cold. That's one of the side effects of fasting, is my body gets really, really, really cold when I fast. So at this point in my fast, I usually put on a scarf or something around my face. It's usually my nose that gets really cold, my hands, and my feet. So it's almost 3 p.m. and I'm going to check my blood sugars for you. Okay, it's 6.7. So it is going down, which is great. Now I'm going to check my blood sugar with my meter to see if it's still inaccurate. If it is, then, you know, that's not a good thing. If it's off, you know, if I have to wear this thing on my arm and, you know, getting itchy, you know, is it worth it if it's not accurate? Let's see what the finger prick test says. Hold on. Okay. 3, 2, 1. See? 5.9. I don't know about this monitor, with this glucose monitor. If it's that far off, from 6.7 to 5.9, that's almost 1 point off. Anyways, I'm glad it's 5.9. I'm gonna go with this number because I'm not sure I'm trusting that glucose monitor anymore. Maybe it needs to be changed, but you know, you buy something, it's supposed to last for 2 weeks, 14 days, and I still have 3 more days to go. So it should last that long. They're very expensive, and I didn't use my insurance for it, so I paid out of pocket. Anyways, we'll check back in about a couple hours after dinner and see how my blood sugars are then as well. Until later. I'm back. I'm still cold, hence this and the heavy sweater. It's just minutes after 6 and I'm gonna check my blood glucose today again for the last time probably. Let's check it. Okay, it's 6.1. Now I'm going to check it with the meter. So it was 6.1 on the Freestyle Libre. Let's see what this one has to say. 5, 4, 2, 1. Ha. 5.2. Again, that is almost 1 point difference. Anyways, okay. I'm wondering if my sensor is at its end of its life. Maybe I'll just use the finger prick more often to give you more accurate readings. But anyways, 5.2 is pretty good. That's the lowest I've ever had it go so far. Good morning. It's day 5, Friday. It's almost 10 a.m. Update from yesterday. My blood sugars got down last night at around 10:30 to 5.4. You can probably see all the numbers. However, I did test on my glucose monitor, my Precision Neo, and it was 4.6. So again, I'm almost at a 1 point difference with inaccuracy, and it kind of sucks because if I'm using this sensor and I'm paying for it, you think it would last for 2 weeks. So I'm wondering if it's just dying. So I'm gonna do one more test and see on both. However, this morning so far when I woke up, my blood sugars were at 7:30 a.m. they were at 6.3, and then at 9:20 they went up to 7.2. So again, that's when I'm waking up. The body's releasing more glucose to allow you to wake up and give you the energy to wake up. So I'm gonna check it now, and I'm gonna check it on the meter as well, the finger prick. So we'll do both to test out, and then we'll see what's gonna happen with this sensor. Scan error, huh? That would suck if it's dying, but oh, it worked now. So it's 7.6 right now, so I'm still in the morning phase, so I can see it going up a bit, but it's great that it's not as high as the other days have been. However, I'm still fasting. I'm over 60 hours fasted right now, so that's another reason why it's not so high, but I'm hoping my baseline goes down, and then over the next few days, the mornings won't be as high. It'll still be higher in the morning, but so that was 7.6, right? Did I say 7.6? So let's test the finger prick now. Anyways, now I got a finger prick again. And I have to squeeze. And now let's hope this works. So 7.6 on the sensor. And this one is 6.6. That's an entire point difference. So these sensors are inaccurate. That's all I have to say about it. Not happy with it. Like, do I even keep this on anymore if it's not accurate? It's still there. You know what? Screw it. Taking this off. I'm not happy with this. I'm not sure if there's directions on. Okay. I guess I don't need directions. I'm taking it off, and I'll put the new one on Monday, but for the rest of the week I'm just going to use the finger prick because I trust that more than I trust this. You know, these one sensor I think is around $90, and so if it only lasts, well, it stopped working yesterday, I guess. I noticed inaccuracies. So it only lasted 9 days instead of 12. Not worth it. Just saying. Even though it's convenient to have that access to check quickly without pricking your finger, but it's just not worth it to me. In other news, 6.6 is great. I'm happy that it's staying low during the mornings. Again, I'm fasting. By the way, when I fast, I use an app called Zero. It's a fasting app, and that's it there. Right now I'm at 62 hours. Yeah. So I'll link it below if anybody's interested. Why is my camera foggy? So I'll link it below, and if anybody's interested, you can go to the app. Another app I use to track my macros every day. So every day I track my macros. I enter in how many, what foods I eat, and it'll tell me the number of carbs, how much fat and protein, and all the nutrients for each meal that I have. And at the end of the day, I can see that what I've tracked, and it'll tell me if I'm over my goals or not. And that app is called Carb Manager. I'll also link that below as well. If anybody's interested, I find it's the easiest app to use and to read and understand the graphs, and the graphics are easy to read. So that's another option for you. So today I'm going to end my fast around dinner time. It'll be 72 hours. Okay, I'm back. Still fasting. It is 2:18 p.m. and I'm going to check my blood sugars again just to see how they're doing. Again, if you remember, I took off my sensors, so now I'm using the finger prick. Let's see where we're at. 5.2. That's great. So hopefully it stays down that way until I have dinner. Good morning. I haven't had breakfast yet. I just got out of bed. Last night my blood sugars, the lowest was 5.2 before dinner, and then I had dinner and I didn't check my blood sugars again. So I broke my fast to 72 hours. I had a steak, I had a salad, I had some cheese, and I had one piece of low carb chocolate, and that's it, and I felt fine. So this morning I'm going to check my blood sugars to see if they've gone back up to the high levels again, or is it going to stay low. We'll see. Probably going to go up since I did eat for the first time last night. And I'm still using the finger prick because I'm not putting on the new sensor until Monday. So today is day 6, Saturday. And let's see where we're at this morning. Wow, not bad. 6.3. That's the best it's ever been while I've been eating and in the morning. But since I just woke up, sometimes I find it goes up as I'm waking up because the body's still releasing glucose and energy to the body to allow me to fully wake up. So I'll check it again in a couple hours just to see where we're at. Hello, so it's about 1:30 p.m. I haven't really eaten much today. I had my morning coffee, no sweeteners in it, just some cream. And then I had a snack early before lunch. I had 2 pepperoni sticks, and that's all I've had so far. So this morning my blood sugars were at 6.2. So let's have a look and see where they're at now. And we will see if my blood sugars have gone back down or up. They're at 6.6, which isn't bad. Obviously that fast did me some good. It seems to bring my blood sugars down to a more lower consistent level, which is great. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep eating keto low carb, and continue to do some fasting. And in no time, I'll have my blood sugars under control. So today is day 6 of week 2. So I would say within the first 2 weeks, I've started seeing some good results. If you're new to this and you're just eating low carb keto now, and you've been eating all the junk for the rest of your life, it'll probably take longer for this to work for you. It could take up to 6 months to a year. However, if you stick to it, you'll see that good things will come. Again, always consult your doctor when you are doing something like this, but I'm going to continue to track. On Monday, I'm going to put the sensor back on my arm and see. It's just a little more convenient to do it, but if it's inaccurate, I won't rely on it. I'll continue to do the finger pricks as well, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to continue eating very low carb, mostly meats and some veggies, and once in a while I may have a dessert snack or something, but it'll be keto low carb. By the way, I'm going to test, since I haven't really eaten anything, I'm going to test a product. I'm going to test out a Lily's chocolate. So these chocolates are, per half bar, are 21 grams of carbs, but 11 are fiber, and there's 5 sugar alcohol, so that's 16. So it should be 5 net carbs per half a bar. So I'm going to go ahead and eat that, and then I'll check back in 2 hours to see where my blood sugars are at, and we'll do a test. Okay, we're going on 2 hours after I ate that Lily's chocolate. So we're going to test my blood sugars again and see how it went. Hoping it didn't spike, because that would suck. And if it did spike, hopefully it went back down. And that's why I wait 2 hours to give it, most foods will spike your blood sugars, but they should go back down after 2 hours. So let's have a look. Okay, let's see. 7.2. That's not that big of a spike. I believe my previous number, what did I say it was? 6.6 to 7.2. That's not a big jump anyways. And as I was saying earlier, if it stays over 1.5 after 2 hours, then that's something to be concerned about. But from 6.6 to 7.2, that's not something I should be too worried about. It's not a huge spike. So I would say that Lily's chocolates are safe to eat in moderation, of course. I did have the entire half bar, and I actually thought the half of that chocolate bar was too much anyways, but I wanted to do a half just so that I would test the full serving. Next time I wouldn't even eat half, I'd eat half of that half. So I think Lily's chocolates are a win, and don't go in the bin. Good morning. It's day 7, week 2, day 7. So this week, as you can see, I significantly was able to drop my blood sugars down to lower levels. Of course, a 3-day fast is going to help with that. Disregard the noise in the background. There's some laundry going on if you hear anything. I will be checking my morning blood sugar right now. However, I did just eat breakfast. I had 3 breakfast sausages and 2 eggs. And so let's see where my blood sugars are at. And blood sugars this morning, are 8.9. So this is after eating, by the way. So in a couple hours, hopefully it will go back down. I do have to go shovel the snow, as it snowed again last night. However, I just wanted to say that I appreciate if you've watched last week and this week up to this point so far. The reason I'm doing this is because I just want to show people that managing your type 2 diabetes can be done without medication. For most people, again, make sure if you are doing this, you're going to do it with your help of your doctor, your medical professional. But oftentimes we don't need medication if we just change what we put in our mouth. For type 2 diabetes, it is manageable. It takes some time. I'm only on week 2 after a month-long binge of eating all the foods, as I've mentioned several times. I also want to mention that being at a healthier weight would help me manage my blood sugars a lot easier as well. And I have been working on weight loss. In the past, I never used to worry too much about weight. As long as my blood sugars were good, my blood tests came back with good numbers. But as I'm aging, I'm noticing that it's harder to manage the blood sugars after gaining a bit of weight over the last year or so. So I've been working on trying to lose weight. 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, I was at around 237, and I'm down to 230 pounds right now. So I lost about 7 pounds so far, and again, it's just strictly monitoring what I eat. I'm still eating really good food, but I'm tracking everything I eat. I'm doing a low-carb ketogenic diet. I use that Carb Manager app that I showed you the other day, and I'm just making sure that I eat under 20 net grams of carbs per day, and I'm staying under my calories as well. That's all I really monitor, is my carbs and my calories. I don't worry about fat or protein as long as I don't eat too much fat. I don't worry about it too much. And I've been losing weight, and it's usually easier to lose weight after a month-long binge of eating all the junk, because your body's in kind of a shock mode, and a lot of it is water weight, I'm sure. But I'm going to continue doing that. A little bit of exercise. I don't exercise a lot. I used to last year when I did 3 months of a carnivore experiment. I was working out a lot, but since COVID, I haven't really gone back to the gym. I don't feel comfortable. We're in lockdown now still, although as of the other day, I think things opened up. I'm not sure if the gyms have yet, but since I moved recently, I need to find another gym, which I will eventually. But right now, I just get in some walks. Sometimes I go for an hour-long walk, shoveling the snow. I'm still doing a lot of work around the house, as it's a new home and there's lots to do. So that's my exercise. So again, what I put in my mouth, fasting, and a little bit of exercise has been helping my blood sugars go down. And as I said before, we're going to see a downward trend, and hopefully next week we'll see even better numbers. This week we saw some really great numbers because of my fast. And we'll continue to go down from there. And if you enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe so you can be notified about next week's episodes. Like or give me any comments, any feedback that you'd like to share with me. I'd love to hear what you think about these videos. And thanks for watching. Hey, just a quick update on today, the end of day 7. It's been a busy day. I was outside shoveling the snow. I was doing some recipe videos. I did a jalapeno popper recipe that's made in the air fryer. I also did a recipe video for a cinnamon swirl cheesecake waffle. I'll share both of them on my website, and I'll link the recipes down below here. My blood sugars were at 6.2, which is great. I thought they'd be higher because I was eating a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but they're doing great. So starting on week 3, that's tomorrow, I will put my sensor back on and see how it works, and hopefully that'll last longer than the past sensor did. Anyways, thanks for watching, and please comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel to be notified for next week's videos. And if you feel anyone could use or watch these videos, please share it with them. Thank you.